Because if I don't like you and I'm around you and there's opportunity to come up, I'm going to take advantage of the opportunity as well. I just don't want you around me because if I don't like you, you can't like me. That's the reality of it. People that don't like you and you keep them around, you can't like them. God won't let you be such a fool. You just an overall trusting person. I trust everybody. Well, everybody, my friend. Yeah. I forgive everybody. Yeah, right. And then a lot of times, man, and this is one of the toughest things to accept. A lot of times you have these people around you like that because you're lonely. There are many of us who spend a lot of time with ourselves. I won't say by ourselves, but with ourselves. There's also quite few of us who do that who really aren't built for it. And the thin line between us and them is we have done the internal work. We have done the spirit work. We have learned the ways of God and separated ourselves. There are some people who have just separated themselves because they don't want to be around those negative people, but they still haven't figured out how to bond with nature, how to bond with the spirit of God, how to bond with the energy of the earth. There's so much positive energy in the earth itself that you don't need to deal with the negative energy of people. But if you don't know how to tap in to the spiritual energy of nature, of what God has around us, of the presence of God in the animals, in the earth, in the water, in the sky, the presence of God is in all of this. And until you learn to become one with your spirit, man, who is already connected to that, then it's going to be a struggle for you to spend this time with yourself. Many people struggle with it. And so they end up letting people back in. They end up pulling people back in sometimes. They end up overlooking the energies that they know are negative because they're lonely. A lot of times you need someone because you don't have yourself. You need someone because you don't have the Most High. And that's one of the biggest traps, because if that's your case, the more time you spend by yourself, the more needy you're going to be for the presence of other people. And then you'll just accept anybody. Well, you know somebody that's really sweet, like a really sweet person, they end up with a clown. I'm talking about they end up with a monster. It's because that really sweet person hadn't tapped into themselves. They don't understand how great they are, how positive they are, how spiritually astute they could be. They're too busy trying to get validation from people. That's the real issue. You let people stay around you that don't deserve to be around you because you need validation from being liked by them. You need validation for being championed by them. You need them to go out and tell, I'm an adversary of this person. I'm your adversary. You care about that when you have the number one adversary that you need to have when you connect with the Most High. And I think many of us, we allow ourselves to be so human. We humanize ourselves to the point where we forget that at our foundation, there's a spiritual essence. So we just go physical. We use our five senses. If it look good, smell good, taste good, feel good, sound good, we all into it. We just overlook the other things. And so you end up trapped with someone who's draining your energy that you know you should have avoided, but you couldn't avoid them because you were so lonely. You needed someone so badly. You were going crazy by yourself. And so the first one who says something nice, the first one who comes with a gift, the first one who sounds like they enjoy your presence, you just invite them in. And there you go, being too friendly, being too trusting, being too forgiving, being too nice, being all of those things with a monster. Come on. It's a tough decision to make. It's a tough pill to swallow, but you got to swallow it. I don't care if you got to chop it up into 4 smaller pieces and swallow that pill. You got to swallow this pill, man. Take your medicine. Because I want you to understand something. A lot of times, these people come around not because they like you, but because they wish they were you. They want to replace you in your own life. I know that sounds crazy, but people want to replace you in your own life. You think about a jacker. Think about a jacker in the hood. What a jacker want to do? He want to rob the plug and be the plug. The problem is, it's not his position. So he don't know how to be the plug. So no matter how much work he get, he still can't be the plug. He gonna run out of work and he don't know how to be the plug. So you know what he got to do? He got to find another plug. And he got around a bad plug too. And then he the plug for a little while, but then he's not the plug because he's not meant to be the plug. He just wants to be the plug. He wishes he could be that. So you got these best friends that just pop up out of the blue and they come around and they just want to be you. That's why they can't bring themselves to show joy with your accomplishments. But they're always coming around telling you about theirs. And then getting their feelings when you reciprocate the same energy and don't show them that much joy. You got to remember, man, that it's easy for someone to come around you if they're on your level physically, if they're on your level education-wise, if they're on your level financially. When someone is on your level as a human, it's easy for you to expose your spiritual self to them because you think y'all have something in common. The only thing I want to have in common with someone is spiritual astuteness. The only thing I want to have in common with someone is honoring the dietary laws. The only thing I want to have in common with someone is honoring the Sabbath day. The only thing I want to have in common with someone is recognizing the true and living God of Israel as the one and only true God. The only thing I want to have in common with someone is understanding that I and my people are direct descendants of God's chosen people, the children of Israel. I don't want to have nothing else in common with you. If I got those things in common with you, all the other stuff falls into place. But we can have financial resources in common and then not have anything else in common. We could like the same type of music and then not have nothing else in common. We could like the same kind of food and then not have nothing else in common. We could grow up in the same area and then not have nothing else in common. You understand me? That's all I want to have in common with you. If we ain't got them things in common, I got to protect my peace from the likes of you. And that's what I want y'all to understand. Know the people who have the peace by the way they live. We know where our peace came from. We know how God gave us the peace. We know the life we live to deserve the peace. If they don't live that life, they don't have the peace. And if they don't have the peace, then they are a beast. And all a beast can do is kill, steal, and destroy, baby. That's all a beast can do to you. It can't do nothing else. That's all it can do. See, what you got to understand is this. When someone's unworthy of your presence, they know they're unworthy. They know they're unworthy. They don't think they're not unworthy. Let me get that thing straight there. I hate when it be all cocked to the side. When they know they're not worthy of your presence, they know it. They're just hoping you don't see it. They're hoping they can manipulate you and pull the wool over your eyes enough where you don't see that they don't deserve your presence. They're hoping that you don't. Because if you don't see it, it gives them more time to leech from you. It gives them more time to take. It gives them more time to siphon your energy. It gives them more time to drain your spirit. It gives them all the time they need to try to do that what? That replacement. They want to be who you are. And the only way to be who you are is to bring you down a peg. I can't be on your level with you. I can't be on your level where you are. You are already there. But I can bring you down and step on your head while I'm going up to get there. That's what they want to do. So you got to think about all the times. Look in your past and think about all the times that somebody wasn't unworthy and you act like you didn't see it. And then when you finally got fed up or things finally got bad, or even worse, when they got tired of running over you and left on their own, you look back. You ain't just noticed that because you were out. You willingly and intentionally ignored it. That's what I'm telling you moving forward. Don't ignore it. Don't second guess it. If somebody shows you one of those character traits, you leave them alone immediately. Don't give no second chances. You've given all the chance you need to give. You gave somebody 5 chances. You gave somebody 10 chances. You gave that person over there 3 chances. You need to stop giving chances. Ain't no more chances to give. The chances are done. Trust your wisdom. Trust your understanding. Trust your discernment. Trust your knowledge. Trust your ability to determine if someone is worthy of your presence or not. Don't doubt it. Trust it and go with it the first time. At what point do we start going with our first mind? Somebody tell me that. I want you put in the chat if you recall within the past 6 months saying, man, I should have went with my first mind. Put a 1 in the chat if you recall saying within the past 6 months, Man, I should have gone with my first mind because you made a bad move, or you didn't make the right move, or you forgot to do something, or you decided not to do something, or you talk yourself out of something. Put a one in the chat if you have told yourself that in the past 6 months. I should have gone with my first mind. Man, missed that opportunity. I should have gone with my first mind. Because at what point do we stop saying that in our lives? At what point do we get to an elevated spiritual point in our lives where we stop saying we should have listened to our spirit man? We should have listened to the version of us that's connected with the Most High. We keep thinking with our human selves and not allowing our spirit man to guide us. At what point do we start doing everything our spirit man says? At what point do we start trusting our spirit man a little bit, like we've been trusting our human man that's led us down the path of destruction, that's led us down these paths to get used and abused and confused by people? At what point do we say, human man, I don't trust you. You a dummy. Spiritual man, take me where I need to go. At what point do we look up and it's been 5 years since we said, man, I should have gone with my first mind? 10 years since we said, man, I should have gone with my first mind. At what point do we stop playing with God and stop playing with ourselves and make the decisions that are going to take us to where we need to go? And stop running into these roadblocks and these ditches and banging up our tires in these potholes. That road over there is smooth. Why we keep riding on the rough road? Ain't you tired of replacing your wheels? I am. Ain't you tired of having blowouts? I am. Ain't you tired of tearing up your front end? Got to get a front end alignment? I am. I need smooth roads. Well, let's go over there to the smooth road. The road over there is always smooth. Ain't no obstacles over there. The obstacles come from us when we get in our own way and let our human minds and our human hearts and our human feelings get in the way of our spirit man's direction and guidance.